we will do some warm-up, get the spine energized. Let's just let a couple more in zoom there. Create some space for the breath, and we'll do some light breathing. We'll also play around with our water buffalo again, which everybody seems to be enjoying. So we're in a standing position. Take our feet shoulder width apart. Just start off by knocking. So rotating the spine. Our breath is just easy here, just in and out through the nose. Lips are lightly together. And if it's comfortable for you, just rest the tongue just gently on the roof of the mouth. So we're not creating any strain or any tightness in the throat. Just keep going while I let a couple more into the Zoom. Face relaxed. Again, that inner smile as well, so no tension in the face or tightness in the face. That pulls through the rest of the body. Now we are going to bring our front arm just into a light fist, just tapping just underneath the collarbone. So just on that point there, just underneath, just a light tap, bringing that front hand, just tapping on the lungs, top of the lung. The back hand is tapping across the back of the body here. So we're getting some rotation through the spine. We're also getting a little bit of self-massage, getting the blood flowing, some lymphatic drainage going on. And now let's just take a fuller breath in through the nose. And so just a nice sound out. And fuller breath in through the nose. And and then just breathe easy. And then back round, belly and back. Keeping tall through the crown. Have a little glance behind you now. So we just get that little bit of extra rotation. Challenging our vestibular balance as well. Make sure that you keep lifting from the crown so that we're not straining our neck. Remember, anything we do is not forced or strained. And then gradually slow it down and just imagine that you're just rushing your hands, brushing your hands, moving your hands through water. So you're getting like a spiral through the wrists, through the elbows, in front of you and behind you. Really slow it down. Feel also the air brushing through the fingers, brushing past the skin if you've got a t-shirt on. You can feel the air on your skin. And then slow it down. Come to A hip width standing just to balance, find your balance. Feet in contact with the ground. Lifting tall through the spine. Little head nod so that you get the head balanced on top of the shoulders. So the shoulders can just relax. We're not having to hold the head with these shoulder muscles here. So we've got a nice place for the nose, the throat, the respiratory diaphragm here, pelvic floor, all balanced on top of each other. And just notice the breath. Really easy place to bring your attention to the breath is in the nasal cavity. So just as you felt the air just floating past your arms as you were doing the water waves, just notice that air just lightly entering the nostrils. Light, soft, just really easy, effortless, natural breathing. Step back out to our shoulder width. A little bit more bend in the knees. Let's do our spinal cord breathing. So let's just do the mechanics first. Again, with this movement, we're not forcing, we're not pulling or overstretching. Just do really nice, gentle stretches. Extending the spine, lifting the sternum, lifting the heart up to the sky. And then just tucking the pelvis. Breathing in naturally through the nose as you extend. Breathing out as you flex. And again, the breath is soft, light. Effortless, quiet. And go at your own pace, your own rhythm, where it's not rushed, but also where you're not straining, where your breath is very, very comfortable. A lot of breath work is just being aware and focusing on the breath rather than changing anything. And just by doing the movement, you are opening up the chest, creating space for breath. And you're also creating a rhythm and a smoothness. If the movement is smooth, the breath will be smooth, and vice versa. Let's do 2 more. And then come up to standing. Just check in with your balance. Little head nod, head balanced on top of the spine. Shoulders relaxed and down. Jaw relaxed. Again, if it's comfortable, that tongue position, just resting the tongue just lightly on the roof of the mouth. And just almost like the front end of it, you don't have to flatten it on the roof of the mouth. And that inner smile helps as well, relaxing the face, relaxing the throat. Stepping back out, shoulder width, a little bit of bend in the knees. One of the things we worked on in the Unlock the Power of Breath workshop at the weekend was the wave breathing. So we had some really good questions about this. So we'll just spend a little bit more time this morning focusing on this. Hands crossed. Place your hands just below the belly button. So you're going onto your lower abdomen down here. And first of all, just tune in with the breath. Just notice the breath, bringing the attention to the nostrils. Again, just feeling that slightly nice, cooler air coming in through the nose as the breath naturally flows into the body. And now bring your attention to where your hands are. And soften this area here. So soften the lower abdomen, soften the hips. And see if you can soften a little bit more down here in this hip area. Also a good visualization is if we come to the back of the body, tailbone, you've got that little bit of a weight on the tailbone. So I'm not squeezing or tucking the tailbone under, but I'm just lengthening, allowing the lower back to relax. So this whole lower part of the pelvis is just softening a little bit more. We tend to can be holding quite a lot of tension here in the hips and in the pelvic floor. So quite often when we focus on belly breathing, we bring all of the attention up here to the upper abdominals, but see if we can just soften a little bit more in that, in the lower abdominals and into the hips. And of course it helps if we counterbalance with keeping tall through the spine. If everything comes down here, it all squashes. So keep lifting towards the sky with the crown. And then bring your hands onto the lower ribs, so just underneath the lower ribs. You can put your fingers in the back ribs, back of the ribs there. Bring your attention to the nostrils first, so just switch your attention to where the breath first enters the body. Tune into that slightly cooler air coming in through the nose. Now focus on softening here, and then notice what goes on in the ribs. So soften in the belly, and then feel the ribs just expand really subtly. There's very little movement because we're just breathing naturally at the minute. And this is the idea of breathing deep, but not big. So it's like that thin thread of air going into the body. So you can breathe light and deep. Keep lifting from the crown. And then just let the arms relax for a minute. Just bring the feet together, about hip width. Connecting to the ground, connecting to the sky. Just allow the body to balance. Step back out. A little bit of softness in the knee. Let's do some self-massage on the sternum. So just gently knocking up and down the sternum. Let's do the ah sound again. So breathing in, fuller breath in. And ah. Fuller breath in. And ah. Just let go of any tightness, any tension, any stress physically, any stress emotionally. One more time, full breath in. And ah. Just rest the arms by the side. Totally anecdotal, but I was doing my blood pressure this morning. I haven't done it for a while. I have a little blood pressure monitor. Check my blood pressure. Didn't sleep brilliantly last night, so it's a little bit high. So I was doing and I checked my blood pressure again, dropped. So if anybody's checking their blood pressure, have a little go at that and see if you notice a difference. As I say, it's totally anecdotal, but it's worth just checking that out. So now bring one hand to the lower abdomen, one hand here to the sternum. So cross heart center, sternum. First of all, bring your attention to the air in and out through the nostrils. Remember, this is where the air enters the body. So we don't start breathing down from the belly. The air actually comes in through the nostrils. So it has to go in first. And this is a response to the air entering the lungs that you feel down here. Soften here now. Feel the ribs expand a little bit, expand across the back as well. And then the top part of the breath is just, again, this is so subtle because we're doing it just with a natural breath, but that top part of the breath is just that little bit of lift of the sternum. So there's your chest element and the head balancing on top of the spine. So it's a very, very, very small version of our spinal cord breathing. So we actually breathe in and we get that nice wave of movement through the spine. And if we can feel this on a natural, easy, soft, light, slow, effortless breath, it's a really good place to be and to feel. So that's the idea of wave breathing, going belly, ribs, and then just that little bit of lift. Softness in the hips and belly. Ribs expanding. And that little bit of lift. And then you can explore taking a slightly fuller breath as we do that. So breathe in. Remember, it all comes in through the nostrils first. Belly, feel the ribs expand. Feel that little bit of lift for the chest. And then soften the chest. Soften ribs. Soften chest, ribs, belly. And if we're taking a fuller breath, we can make it really slow. It means then we're not over breathing. And see how slow you can make that breath and how light you can make that breath without feeling air hunger, without feeling any strain or tightness. And then just bring the feet together, balance again for a moment. We had an Oxygen Advantage instructors group meeting last night with Patrick, and there was a really good question, because if you're thinking of breathing light, but you slow the breath, obviously there's a certain volume of air that our body needs for what it's doing at that moment of time per minute. If we slow the breath, then the slower the breath, the greater the volume per breath. So that is true. It doesn't mean to say you're going to end up over breathing. So say your body needs you need diffusion of 3 liters of air per minute. If you take 3 breaths, you're breathing a litre of air per minute. If you take 1 breath, you're breathing the 3 litres in 1 minute. Now, I'm not saying that's what you should be breathing. That was just an easy way of me to do it without getting complicated with the maths. But obviously, 1 breath is going to be fuller and bigger the slower you go. But the idea is keep it easy, so it's not forcing the breath. So that's a really subtle wave breathing exercise, but if you can get that, it's a really nice feeling that you've almost got this flow of movement going as you're breathing naturally, rather than everything locked and you're trying to breathe in a particular place. We want to do the water buffalo just to finish off with. A reminder that the breathing that we've just been doing there is all been about relaxation, allowing the body come into relax and rest and restore and recover. We can then do some more breathing work, which is about stressing the body in a good way to create an adaptation. It's a bit the difference of like doing an endurance easy run and then doing interval sessions with the run, or in any type of training. So a reminder, if you do any of the breaths work that is going to stress the body, avoid any of this if you're pregnant, if you've got high blood pressure, if you've got any cardiovascular issues, or if you just don't feel comfortable with doing any active stress breaths, then please do avoid this. But we're going to put ourselves in a position called a water buffalo in Qigong, a little bit wider apart on the hips, on the feet, taking the hips back so you're dropping down, you're looking ahead, nice long spine, just dangling the arms in front of you in this position. What is great about this position is you can breathe into the back, but we've also got the diaphragm here at the front of the body. Now, if we're thinking of belly breathing, this is where you can now use the upper abdominals to push the breath out. So you're pulling the belly in and pushing the diaphragm back. So you're just like blowing out a candle. So a water buffalo presumably does stuff like that. You breathe in through the nose, breath is naturally in through the nose, and then just do 5 breaths out. So just push 5 breaths out. The breath will naturally flow in through the nose. So you don't have to go, you're not pulling breath in and pushing breath out. So just 5 breaths again. So slightly fuller breath in through the nose, and then rest. Keep holding that position. Let the breath settle, and then we'll go again. Slightly fuller breath in through the nose, breathing into the back of the body, and 5 breaths out. And rest there, breathing naturally. Let the shoulders relax. Make sure you're not tightening the shoulders up. Arms just dangling. It's really working the legs here as well, which is good. Slightly fuller breath in through the nose. Let's do 10. Breathe in. Let's do squeeze out. Let's just extend that pause a little bit at the end of the exhale. Breathe in, or let the breath in, and then gently push through the heels. Roll up really slowly. Now we're counterbalancing that stress breath with your rest and recovery, where you're just doing nice, calm, breathing in through the nose. Just let the breath just flow in through the nose. Breathing out. See if you can feel that very subtle wave breathing as you're breathing in. Breathing out, softening the chest. One more, lifting the sternum up towards the sky, heart to sky. Crossing the hands across the belly, stepping the feet together. Just finding balance. Just tuning into the breath to the nostrils, slightly cooler air coming in through the nose. If you have your eyes closed, at the top of the next breath, just open your eyes. Step your feet out. Feel free to have any type of pandiculation that you want. Twisting, turning, reaching. And have a brilliant rest of the day. Thanks for joining in. I enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed it too. If anybody's got your blood pressure monitors, go and check your blood pressure. And I will see you hopefully on Thursday for the movement session. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.